And good morning, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is a Monday and another pretty nice week for weather. I'll tell you all about that in just a moment. On our show today from Third Mutual, if I can pronounce that, we have John Frankel here today, and he's going to go over several things that's going on with Third. We also have a gentleman on from Beginnings Treatment Centers, and he's going to tell you how they can help folks that are maybe have some addictions and the type of services that they offer. We're also going to bring you a segment from BreastLink. Now, as far as meetings go today, there is only one, and that's the GRF Media and Communications meeting. That takes place in the boardroom at 1:30 today. So let's get to the weather, and this is nice. Another week similar to what we had last week. If you're watching us here in the morning, you see that nice June gloom type marine layer out there. That's going to stick with us for probably another couple days or so, this thick marine layer, and then it gives way to a nice mid-80 degree weather, which is exactly kind of what we want and normal. Actually, it's not normal to have this marine layer, but it is normal to be in these temperatures. And of course, this is partly caused again by that monsoonal moisture that is coming into the area and then giving us this heavy humidity. In fact, at our house this morning, we were at 91% humidity, and you've probably have really felt the humidity over the last several days. Now you can see I have everything in basically about the same over the next few days. Probably as we get to Thursday and Friday, the high pressure system that is currently over Arizona that's kind of swinging up and bringing in this moisture looks like it's probably going to move a little bit more to the north, so the heat is going to rise. We're going to get less humidity. Now, I've looked at three different sources. Some of them show us going up to maybe around 87, 88. Others show us just staying right around 83, 84. So I kind of half it right in between. But we should be a little bit warmer as we get to probably Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Friday. I'm talking maybe 3, 4 degrees. And then back as we get to the weekend, staying pretty much in the mid to slightly upper 80s. So not bad at all. This is exactly what we want. Let's look around Orange County today, and things are looking good everywhere you go. Beach is only about 77 as their average. Everywhere else, mid to upper 80s. You can still see Palm Springs hanging right around that 110 mark or so. And we can see that Lake Arrowhead is staying right around 80 degrees or so, and then going down to the low 50s at night. And San Diego looking really nice down there as well. So overall, nice temperatures throughout the area. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
At El Toro Pharmacy, your health needs and your quality of life is our top priority. We can be trusted with all your prescription needs, delivered free to your doorstep. Call us to have your prescription transferred. We will take care of everything. No hassle to you. We are a full-service pharmacy carrying all your over-the-counter medicines at competitive prices. And we offer complete diabetic care and your immunization requirements too. Under new management, come visit us in Moulton Plaza. El Toro Pharmacy will never be undersold, and we offer the finest after-sales services.
It takes a team effort to provide compassionate care. At Health Plus Medical Supply and El Toro Pharmacy, your personal attention is our top priority. We have everything you need, including stair lifts, rollators, knee walkers, wheelchairs, power wheelchairs, scooters, and car lifts. And we provide all maintenance and installation. Health Plus is located inside El Toro Pharmacy, where we provide the same compassion for your pharmacy and drugstore needs. Located in Moulton Plaza.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
I'm coming for you, Cancer. With California Protons, I now have the technology and expertise to fight with unmatched precision. I'll zero in and wear you down with radiation, millimeter by millimeter. You won't weaken me. I'll spare my tissues and protect myself against future threats. Cancer, you're history. I'm looking to the future.
When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Low payments? Yes, we can. Low financing for all types of credit? Yes, we can. Capistrano Toyota features 10 acres of new and certified pre-owned Toyotas, plus many used cars priced below $10,000. When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Exit 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano.
And John Frankel is with me right now with Third Mutual Update. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you
How
for
are
the
you?
opportunity to meet with you.
Great to have you on here today. We got several things that you want to go over.
Well, I'm on several committees, and
Yes,
I
you
want
are.
to talk about what the committees are doing that,
Okay.
that bring to the attention of our residents some of the things that we're doing. I'm on the traffic committee, which means that I have to hear traffic violations once a month. One of the things I want to talk about is overnight passes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when vehicles stay overnight and you're a guest, they give you an overnight pass.
Right.
So, and it's possible for vehicles to get an extended pass, but that doesn't cover overnight, the extended pass, if you're a visitor. So we had several incidents at the last meeting where the vehicle was parked and it was staying at, the person did not stay overnight, but the vehicle was there. And after midnight, he was ticketed. So the next question is, when does overnight kick in? Overnight of an overnight pass violation if you don't have an overnight pass? And the answer is at midnight. So if you're visiting and you do not have an overnight pass, you better get out of there by midnight. And this person didn't do that, and their vehicle was ticketed.
So what, I'm trying to understand then, what's the point of an extended pass?
Well,
wouldn't that automatically cover being it's going to be here for a few days?
it's possible to get an extended pass for visitors,
Okay.
but it does not cover overnight parking.
Okay.
So you need an overnight pass or you're going to stay overnight.
Okay.
Another issue that we've been having is our contractors are parking in the cul-de-sacs. So we've had a number of violations of contractors parking in the cul-de-sacs, but it has been mitigated because we've decided to pass out to every contractor a notice when they come in that they must not park in the cul-de-sacs unless they're loading and unloading. And the problem is that when folks get a permit to do work, they're notified of the requirements, but if they're just in doing maintenance, air conditioning, refrigeration, stove, whatever, they may not know of the requirements.
Okay.
So we're now passing these out, and the number of violations has decreased. There were 84 in April, 63, 48, and in July there were only 31 cul-de-sac violations. So it's working. We're getting the word out. And finally, unloading. Yeah, you can park in a cul-de-sac if you're unloading, but how long can you do that? And the answer is 30 minutes. You got to get yourself unloaded by 30 minutes.
Okay.
Unless the vehicle is required to actually do maybe it has a generator or something like that, and then you're allowed to park there if the vehicle is required.
All right. Very good.
I'm a member of the GRF M&C committee, and we talked about the Performing Arts Center at our last meeting, and folks have heard about the fact that there's this very large program.
Right.
$10–15 million, and so now it has finally been determined that we're only going to do the absolute necessary work. So it's now a $3.5 million project, and at that point, that's pretty much where it's going to stay, which will cover HVAC, ADA, fire, life safety, audio and video video upgrades, and finally the lobby and dining room upgrades.
Okay.
Gate 10. we're doing the gate arm projects in
Right.
gates 7, 8, and 9. And the reason that 10 was not included was because there was a consideration that maybe 10 and 11 could be combined under one gate. That didn't work out, and so now gate 10, at the last GRFM&C meeting, a motion was made that we now include gate 10. So now 7, 8, 9, and 10, and that will then secure the village west of Molson, and keep the interlopers out.
Okay.
Because we'll have the gate arms.
All right, very good.
Landscape. We have well, everyone has heard of the Yellow Stake program, and there was a moratorium put on the Yellow Stake program by the Third Mutual several months ago, and where the Landscape Committee is working diligently to develop a grandfathering system where we continue the Yellow Stake and go back and investigate, and then start passing out yellow stakes again.
Okay.
And so there'll be a meeting, an important meeting on the 6th of September, and anyone who's interested in the Yellow Stake program should come to the landscape meeting. Task force committees. We have there have been 3 task forces. We got lots and lots of committees, but there have been 3 task forces. The Performing Arts Center, the Traffic Hearing, and the Disaster Preparedness Task Force. And now we've created the Energy Committee Task Force. And that means a task force, by the way, which means that there's members from each of the housing mutuals and GRF. Right. Security and Mobility Vehicles Committee. We got a very, very important meeting. As many of the bus riders know, we have created a plan-a-ride system and an eight bus system because of that was created to reduce VMS transportation costs. Well, that program is not working advantageously to our bus riders. And there was a petition that was passed and signed by hundreds and hundreds of folks, and they need weekend bus service, and they would like to readdress the entire system. So come to the 31st of August meeting at 9:30 in the boardroom.
Okay.
And staff is going to present some options for the committee to consider.
All right, very good.
And finally, disaster preparedness. There's a real strong need for a good neighbor block captain. Chief Morey has put together and is addressing the disaster preparedness, a very critical need here for fire life safety and fire, flood in the village, earthquake. And the purpose of the Good Neighbor Block Captains is to interview all the people within their responsibility, find out are there any damages, any people hurt.
Right.
And my wife is a block captain for our cul-de-sac, and we wear a vest, and then after after the circumstance, then she reports to Clubhouse 6, and that way we find out, we have a reading on all of the folks here in the village. I'm the backup to the coordinator at Clubhouse 6.
Okay.
So disaster and good neighbor block captains are very, very necessary, and we need hundreds more.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of we're not full on the good neighbor block captains for disaster preparedness, and we would certainly appreciate anyone who feels like they can stand up and help.
Okay. Now, are you having a meeting coming up for this soon?
There's a barbecue on the 28th.
Okay.
At noontime on Clubhouse 2.
Okay.
And we're going to be wearing our vests. And
okay. So if people want to find out more about that, they can.
Well, I don't think that's open to anyone who's.
Oh, it's not for like people who are interested.
Yes.
Okay. It's for the current ones.
Right. If you're interested, there's extensive training
Okay.
that Chief Morey puts together on a regular basis. this is just a thank you for all the several hundred Good Neighbor block captains that we do have.
All right.
That'll do it.
All right, good to see you, John. As always,
very
you
much.
take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Remember, tomorrow Third has their regular board meeting, which we'll bring to you live. We'll be right back.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
Hi everybody, I'm Sean Thomas. Welcome to Sports Talk. Come join me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for sports highlights, tournament news, and interviews for Laguna Woods residents and around the world. Hey, maybe even Broadway. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Put it on your calendar. Thursday mornings, a great way to start your day with me and the Sports Talk way. Or even a triple's okay. I'll see you then.
I did whatever I felt I had to in order to feed my addiction. I couldn't fight it anymore, but I didn't know how to stop. When I hit bottom, my family intervened and found Beginnings treatment centers. Today I'm not a slave to my addiction. I have my family and my life back. I hope and pray that if you or a loved one needs help, that you make the call like I did.
And welcome back. With me right now is Joe Milligan, and he is with Beginnings Treatment Centers. Nice to have you here, sir. Welcome, and we're going to find out all about the services that you offer. And I have to say, we were having a fun conversation talking about the movie Broadcast News before we came back. Maybe we'll show that to you one day, one of our Monday or Friday movies.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was a very good movie, yeah. Well, welcome, and first, give me an overview of the Beginnings Treatment Centers and how it relates to here.
Beginnings Treatment Centers is a comprehensive dual diagnosis addiction treatment center. We have facilities around Orange County, and we provide all levels of care from detox through outpatient services. We deal mostly with opiates. Not because we wanted to, but because that's what's been coming through our doors for many years. And we've gotten very good at it. But we deal with all types of addictions, many co-occurring disorders. We can deal with most of the comorbidities that come with addiction. We have a team of psychologists, psychotherapists who are our primary treatment team. One of the highest ratios I've ever seen in the treatment business of degreed professionals and licensed professionals in the mental health industry. And we do a very good job at that.
Okay, so you know, you mentioned opiates, and I would think that, you know, unfortunately within this community, that could be something a lot of folks might be dealing with, right?
The opiate epidemic today is multi-generational. It's a complex issue, it really is. The reason people get on opiates there's a million of them. I mean, you know, some people just want to try them. But so many people have come to opiates because of pain.
Right.
And you know, opiates are just really not great for long-term pain relief. They have a number of paradoxical effects over a period of time. I mean, the bottom line is that if you're taking opiates for a very long time, you build a tolerance. And if you keep building the tolerance, you have to keep taking more to get the same level of pain relief.
Right.
And eventually your body quits producing the natural endorphins that give you natural pain relief. So you get this paradoxical effect of hyperalgesia, where everything hurts more.
Right.
And it's just simply a poor substitute, but it feels so good. You know, it just feels so good. And we deal with people who are hardcore addicts. We deal with a great many people who are simply psychologically and physiologically dependent upon the drugs they've been taking for a long time. So we deal a lot with pain relief. We deal a lot with pain management. We deal a lot with alternative methods for pain management.
And that's one of the key issues, because these people may have general acute pain for whatever reasons, and they want relief. And so they want to know, well, I don't want to be on these anymore, but I also don't want to walk around in extreme pain every day. How do I manage that? And that's a very difficult balancing act.
It is a difficult balancing act. Now, I'm not anti-opiate for acute pain.
Right.
For acute pain, for short-term relief of very serious pain, there still is nothing better than opiates.
Yeah.
They just work for that. But they don't translate well to chronic pain relief. There are all sorts of other methods to deal with it, and the study is growing all the time. I mean, right now there's a number of things happening that are making this much more difficult for people with chronic pain. The doctors are unable to prescribe like they could before. And people who are having their doctor tell them that we have to reduce your opioids.
Yeah.
We just have to. I can't prescribe this anymore like this, or I'm going to lose my license. They're turning to other methods. Now, they can turn to other methods that we use, that a lot of people are using, and find other ways to deal with the pain.
Sure.
Or they can turn to their neighborhood dealer who can get them drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, this opiate epidemic is hitting everybody from grandkids to grandparents across the board. It's no respecter of any sort of borders. And the fact is, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anywhere, anytime.
Let me ask you something, just in your opinion, because you've been dealing with this one way or another for a while. Why do you think it's gotten so big? I mean, compared to 10 years ago? Is it just because the doctors, not blaming all the doctors, but just got to the point of we're prescribing these more because the drug companies, you know, get with the medical programs and say, here's all these new ones. You know, I don't know why. What's your? I'm curious.
Well,
what's your
I have
opinion?
my opinions on that, but that would take a lot longer than we have today. I mean, you know, the perfect storm is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's just been over a period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, the doctors, like I said, the doctors have a very good reason for prescribing opiates. They work.
Yeah.
And they work for a long time before they don't work, and when they don't work a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big when they don't work, but I mean, the problems are snowballing.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's a snowball, and the access has become easier to illicit drugs. The types of illicit drugs that are available now are growing like crazy. I mean, this fentanyl is coming across the border in wide amounts. They're mixing fentanyl with heroin. They're also bootlegging everybody's favorite prescription drugs, and they look just like the prescription drugs. They're coming across the border in I don't know, container loads.
Yeah.
And they contain fentanyl, and that'll kill you. It's
right.
50,000 times or 10,000 times more powerful than morphine. And they put it in. They don't have any quality control. You don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
But it's available, and heroin is available. And the price of heroin has gone down so much that people who don't have the access to the prescription drugs they did before have been able to turn to heroin.
Okay.
And they start, you know, I can't tell you how many clients we've had who've who would have sworn at one time they'd never stick a needle in their arms. Never.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, of course, people are going to say, or people are going to want to ask that maybe need this kind of help. How do I go about that? I would say majority of the people here are on some sort of Medicare program. Is that covered by Medicare? Or whatever, some of them are on the, the Medicare Advantage, those type of things.
We can talk about that. We don't take Medicare directly,
Okay.
but we do take a lot of the Medicare supplements. We take most PPOs.
Okay.
And many people have PPOs. We have other ways to finance it. There's other sources available, and
Okay.
outpatient works too. We have that also.
Okay.
And there's a number of issues that go on in this community, particularly. Not only is it an issue for the residents of this community too, but it's an issue for their families. And very often in a community like this, the seniors are the major influencers in the family.
Okay.
They're as concerned about their grandkids as they are about themselves.
Yes.
And they can influence their grandkids. They can influence their own children and grandchildren. And this thing is going from top to bottom in the whole family. And the only thing they can do is give us a call. I mean, we expect to take a call. We expect to be able to help anyone who calls us in some manner.
All right, and the number's on the screen. So if you'd like more information about that, maybe it's for you, maybe there's a family member, that could possibly use some help, give that a call and see what they can do for you. Joe, thank you very much. I appreciate meeting you and having you come on. And we'll be back in just a moment.
This is how we burger, brew, and cue. Pick a town. Arrive hungry, real hungry. Start with a massive burger. Charred, juicy. Add bacon, a buttery bun, pile high. Serve it up, wash it down. Creamy, hoppy, fruity, malty. We're not done yet. Cue time. Deep fried, sauce soaked, pork ribs, meaty, tender. I'm full. Where to next?
All new Burgers, Brew, and Q. Tuesday at 9. Cooking Channel. Stay fired up.
Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
Over the past 20 years, BreastLink has successfully treated thousands of women across Southern California. Our doctors like Dr. Lisa Curcio have helped women overcome numerous health challenges. With her experience, compassion, and the high quality of care she gives to every patient, Dr. Curcio is also a breast cancer survivor. She offers patients the newest and most effective surgical treatment options. Doctors like Dr. Curcio are the reason BreastLink delivers the care you deserve with the quality you expect. Whether you need us now or later, we're always here.
We're talking about breast cancer, and we have a dedicated breast oncologist, Dr. Engel, with us today to tell us a little bit more about it. Well, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about what a dedicated breast oncologist is.
Yeah, sure. So a dedicated breast oncologist is an oncologist who dedicates his or her career to breast cancer only and all the treatments associated with that.
So you don't treat any other types of cancers, just the breast cancer?
That is correct.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are available through BreastLink.
Yeah, BreastLink is a very unique, comprehensive breast center and has basically everything a woman would need, or a man. We do have men with breast cancer.
Right.
Everything a patient would need in order to achieve dedicated, comprehensive breast care. So starting from imaging, mammograms, ultrasounds, MRIs, through biopsies to make a diagnosis, breast surgeons, plastic surgeons, breast oncologists, and radiation oncologists. So really a comprehensive team to offer everything a patient would need.
So that way they don't have to go to any other facility?
Correct.
Okay. And when does a breast oncologist actually come into play?
A breast oncologist comes into play after a diagnosis of breast cancer is made, be it via a biopsy or sometimes after breast surgery. And anytime there's breast cancer, regardless of the type or stage, a breast dedicated oncologist would be involved in the treatment team.
Okay, so they wouldn't bring you in at the time of maybe looking at an image?
Depending really on the scenario. So we pride ourselves on having something called a tumor board, where we discuss all new patients and review all the images, for example, and biopsies. And so sometimes a breast oncologist will be involved even before a full or complete diagnosis is established.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know. At least they bring in the necessary people.
Correct.
Okay. I know that there's an awful lot of different treatments that can be used for breast cancer. Chemotherapy probably being one of the most popular ones, but I know there are others today. Which one would you recommend, or which ones do you see most often now?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think every patient really gets a very personalized treatment plan. So it's the breast oncologist, one of our jobs is to decide what's the right plan for a patient, and a lot of factors play into that. The patient's diagnosis, the stage, the size of the cancer, the age of the patient, the other health issues a patient may have, and that all plays into our way of formulating a personalized treatment plan according to that. Chemotherapy is only one of potential treatments we have for breast cancer, and by no means the only one.
Right.
And there was a recent study that came out and was very much on the media, discussing that actually there are many postmenopausal women, about 70–75% postmenopausal women, that do not require chemotherapy.
Okay.
So we don't necessarily equate breast cancer with chemotherapy. Not all women are going to need chemotherapy.
So what are some of the other treatments that can be used?
So there are several other treatments, and it ranges from local treatments, for example, surgery and radiation treatment, and then whole body treatments. And we categorize those into two main modalities, one being, for example, chemotherapy, and another modality is anti-estrogen therapies, because the majority of breast cancers are actually estrogen driven.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. And then I think I had read that precision medicine is coming along now these days, where you can really sort of pinpoint exactly what kind of breast cancer they have, which will allow you to, like you said, really have a specific treatment.
That's right, right. So today breast cancer treatments are sophisticated to the point where we first categorize what type of breast cancer we're dealing with, because there's several types. And I happened to see the book John Link wrote, and I helped with called the Breast Cancer Survival Manual. And in that book, we do explain very systematically how the breast cancers are divided into distinct subtypes, and each chapter is devoted into the distinct subtypes, and then really goes into personalized treatment based on that subtype and other characteristics. So it's absolutely true. The field of cancer in general, and definitely breast cancer, is going into very much personalized treatment plans. And again, that's the role of the breast oncologist to formulate and oversee that plan.
So as an oncologist, and now with some of these new technologies that are coming forth, or even, like you said, the personalized medicine, is there training that you have to go back to, or is this just something that you learn about as you go along with your work?
It's a really good question. There's always training. So every day at work is a day of training. And I think every oncologist spends hours after our day job, learning more and keeping up to date on all the trials and data and new information there is. And so there's always training in every field of oncology, definitely in breast, where there's so much information out there. I just came back from a seminar in San Diego, 2-day seminar, to again review everything and talk to all the breast oncologists, the real experts nationwide. That come together at least once a year, if not more frequently than that, to review and to do more training and literature review, and just to really make sure we're implementing the most advanced cutting edge treatments for our patients.
Well, it seems like a pretty exciting time. I mean, we're on, like you said, the cutting edge of maybe some new things. Do you foresee them to be much more helpful than what we've had in the past?
Yeah, I think, the statistics are very much in favor of, we are doing really well in terms of surviving breast cancer. We have a really nice increase in survival rates, and many women are long-term survivors, and that's really our goal. I joke and say my goal is really to be out of a job in the future, and I think, you know, we're getting to the point where we're just seeing more and more long-term survivors, and that's really satisfying.
What do you think BreastLink does differently than some other places that people could go to for breast cancer?
You know, BreastLink is a really unique, I kind of call it a very unique center with a heart and soul, and it really has this very personal touch to it. And the feedback we get from our patients is that every step of the way, it's just been such a wonderful experience, from the receptionist to the phone call from the insurance coordinator to the social worker or desk helper to the medical assistant. Every step of the way, I think all our employees understand how stressful it is to be diagnosed with breast cancer, and really a life-changing diagnosis. And so we're there every step of the way, you know, helping the patient work through it, formulating the plan, communicating, and I think that really we're a very unique center in that regard, where we get it, we understand it, and I think patients are very appreciative of that.
That's excellent. In going forward, maybe talking to people about things that they can do to help prevent breast cancer, what would you recommend?
Yeah, I think when I discuss that with my patients, the first thing I always emphasize is that it's never anyone's fault for getting breast cancer. No one is ever at fault. It's never something they did or didn't do, or one thing they ate or didn't eat, or the fact that they haven't exercised in many, many years. It's never one thing. And so we just want to first make sure that there's no, or as much as possible, reduce the amount of guilt, or you know, it's never a patient's fault for getting this. I think there are some modifiable risk factors. We know that all of us usually can do a little better in terms of being healthy, leading a healthy life. And that plays also into breast cancer risk reduction, being as active as possible, exercising every day. I joke with my patients that if I could prescribe one treatment, it would be 60 minutes of good exercise every day. I think you know, exercise has been shown to help patients with almost every aspect of their life, not only with cancer prevention, heart prevention, stroke prevention. It can also help get through treatments more readily. And so all my patients, even during treatment, I encourage them to move and exercise as much as possible. We know that alcohol has now been linked to at least 7 cancers, so we want to minimize alcohol intake. And there's a very nice resource called the American Institute for Cancer Research that tries to go into specifics about how much is too much and how much should we be drinking. In general, the guidelines suggest if we don't drink on a daily basis, not to start, and if we do drink on a kind of frequent basis, we want to probably limit it to 2 alcoholic beverages per week.
Per week?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know alcohol is good for the heart, but not so good for cancers, and so that's kind of the recommendation I usually give my patients. And then in terms of diet, I usually emphasize a whole food, plant-based diet, trying to stay away from too much animal fat. And again, the American Institute of Cancer Research has a very nice website and a lot of detailed information about that.
And then I would assume also self-checks and making sure you go to your yearly.
Absolutely.
Right. Those are probably no-brainers, right?
Yes. We also endorse BreastLink mammograms from the age of 40. And there's been some new you know, controversy about what's the right age to start screening mammograms, and we and the American College of Radiology adhere to starting screening mammograms at the age of 40.
Wow. So it has definitely dropped in terms of age.
Well, most recently there was a question of can we push it to 50? And so there's some societies that are endorsing the age of 50, but we're not comfortable yet with that recommendation.
But then 40 isn't necessarily a benchmark either, because there are people who are much younger that end up with breast cancer as well.
Correct, that is right.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for the information. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And remember, as with anything, always do your exercise. It can help prevent breast cancer. And then also do your research and do your yearly exams.
I've been with Clear Choice about 6 years now. I have my wife sitting next to me. She was tired of me saying what all the time, and that's when we sought out a hearing specialist, and we fell in love with Clear Choice right away. The hearing aids work great. I gave them referrals. My son's got hearing aids from Clear Choice. My neighbor's got hearing aids from Clear Choice. And in my mind, Clear Choice should be your #1 choice.
Come in to one of our locations for a free hearing evaluation. Clear Choice Hearing Aid. Hear better, live better.
Welcome back. Well, we have Sharon and Fran here with the Old Pros, who's going to tell us a little bit about some of the things coming up and also some changes. Hello, ladies. Nice to see you. How are you?
Good. Great. How are you doing today?
Very good.
Good.
So it sounds like you've got a few different things going on. So who would like to start?
Always Fran.
All right, Fran, you go ahead.
Always Fran.
You go ahead. Tell me what you have going on.
Well, first I wanted to mention the club is dark in August. But that doesn't mean that we're not doing anything, okay? Right. I just found out last night, so I'm really excited. On August 29th, they're gonna have auditions for our radio show program, which is fantastic for those of you, or you don't know.
No.
With the radio shows, you don't have to memorize anything. You have a script, so you come out and do a reading.
Right.
And
it's like a staged radio show, so like you used to see in the movies with everybody standing in front of the mics.
Yes.
And we have sound effect people, etc.
It's very fun.
So those auditions are the 29th of August.
Okay, and who are you looking for those kinds of auditions?
Anybody.
It just doesn't matter, anybody.
Everybody.
Okay.
The audience out there, come on out and try it, you know, that type. Because a lot of people want to get involved with the theater, but they can't memorize things.
Sure.
So this makes it a lot easier and it's more fun. And it's at Clubhouse 2, the Gravilla
room. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And it's from 2 o'clock to 6 p.m.
Okay.
So it doesn't interfere with the morning errands and appointments and stuff.
And over before dinner.
Yeah, and it's over before dinner. And if anybody out there really wants to try and see what it's like, they should come on in.
Perfect.
I was in the radio show they did last year, and it's just so much fun to do.
Okay.
Because if your character has a funny voice, you get to do a funny voice. I mean, you can do anything.
That sounds fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of brings out your personality, and hopefully you get a part that you really enjoy and you just get into it.
Okay, cool.
Now, September 13th is our regular club meeting.
Okay.
And that is at Clubhouse 7 at 4 o'clock. And we really are going to start at 4:15 sharp.
Okay.
Because they're doing a reading called The Comfort Women. And it's about 5 European women, it's fictionalized, that gets caught captured in World War II by the Japanese, and they're used for relaxation women. There's no intermission, and it's 70 minutes, and it's in 2 acts.
Okay.
So the first act tells about their life before they got captured, and the second act, of course, is what happens when they are captured, and what happens. I don't want to give anything away.
Right.
And that's 4 o'clock, Clubhouse 7, that's where our regular meetings are, and it's on September 13th, the second Thursday of the month.
And this is a time change for our meetings. Our meetings used to be at 4:30. From now on, they're going to be at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so 4 o'clock, and then things will start at 4:15.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So try to be there by 4 for
At
sure.
4 o'clock, basically, you'll be greeted by the president. They bring the meeting to order, and then the performance will start at 4:15.
You know, for those that don't know, I mean, we've had a lot of people that are new that moved into the area. Tell me what the Old Pros really is.
Well, the Old Pros was started by people who live here about 10 years ago, I think, who are old show business pros.
Okay.
Actors and directors and people who made their living somewhere in show business.
All right.
And decided to start a second theater group that focused on more serious types of plays and things than the Theater Guild, which is also a wonderful organization. We belong to both.
Okay, right. I figured as much.
Yeah, Theater Guild usually does the musicals and the comedies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you, and then the Old Pros kind of gears more towards readings and
and serious plays most of the time. Although their next production might after Shakespeare, which we'll get to in a minute. But they do Shakespeare and serious plays and.
Okay. Well, tell me your background, Sharon. What did you
Well,
used to
my
do?
background, I have a degree in theater.
Okay.
I ended up being a radio announcer for 30 years.
Your voice is awesome. So perfect, right?
And overlapping with all of that, I was also a synagogue cantor, so I'm a singer.
Okay.
And then when I was in my mid-40s, decided I should be something else when I grow up, and I went back to school and became a chiropractor.
Oh,
so
completely different.
So I do all of these things.
Okay.
And I still do all of these things.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. You have a very full schedule, I'm sure. How about you, Fran?
My background?
Yes.
No, I was not in the theater at all.
Okay.
I-
Okay. But you were
I
around
was-
people with the theater, though,
Oh
right?
yes, I've been doing makeup
Right.
here. I got started here in the theater business probably 7 years ago, doing the makeup for the shows for Theater Guild and Old Pros, Shakespeare on the Patio, and went on from there. I went back to school and got my degree. I was the first makeup artist here for Channel 6.
That's right,
Yeah.
you were.
Yeah.
And you look
Yeah.
so beautiful. Everybody
you.
looks so nice.
Well,
so
trying to, it's early.
Yeah, I know, it is early. Well, let's get to the Shakespeare. What do you guys have going on? I loved the flyer. It was very well done.
Oh, the flyer's beautiful.
It looks
I'm very
great.
proud of it. I didn't have anything to do with it, but I am very proud of it. Shakespeare in the Patio has been done for the last 7 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And what we are doing this year is we're doing scenes. Oh, there's the flyer. It's so pretty. We're doing scenes from different Shakespeare plays. So there will be scenes from Hamlet, scenes from As You Like It, some serious readings, some funny readings. We're going to have sonnets, some of the Shakespearean sonnets read as well. I'm doing a funny scene from The Tempest with David Deering, and then I also am going to be in one of the 2 Shakespeare scenes where I'm playing Queen Gertrude, and I told them, I said, I'm used to getting laughs. I'm not sure if you guys really want me doing this. But
full costume?
As full costumes as we can, but
Okay,
yes.
well, that's great.
But the fun part is it's on the patio. People can bring dinner with them if they want. We're going to have strolling troubadours going through the tables and different singing and music and dancing throughout the show. So it's not just serious Shakespeare. There's drama, there's comedy, there's music. And it should just
kind
be
of done the old-fashioned way, right?
The old-fashioned way.
I
And
like
if people look at the dates and go, wait a minute, that can't be right. It's a Sunday and Monday. It is a Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
People who are retired, go with Monday. It's fine.
But it's the same time for both days,
It is
right?
the same time for both.
That was doors open at 6 p.m. and the performance starts roughly around 7.
Right.
And last year it was jammed. So, and we expanded what we're doing. So this year we expect even more people, and it's wonderful. They'll, as you said, singing and dancing, but the people just come, bring their food, share it. We have big round tables set up, and we have even tables in the shaded area. They'll probably be selling food again. They usually have somebody selling food. I don't know which group, and if you don't want to bring that, you can, go ahead and buy food there.
Oh, there will be food there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they usually do.
In all likelihood, yeah.
Okay. Do you don't know what kind of food yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Perfect.
We'll make sure it's
Perfect.
good.
Of course you will. Of course. You know what? Maybe they have those big chicken legs.
Yes,
No, they don't have like the bear.
And little pasties.
They have the, last year it was hamburgers and the fixings.
Ye old
and stuff.
hamburgers.
Ye old hamburgers and fries.
I don't know, I always bring a picnic.
The Gaelic potato.
You guys are a crack up.
We usually bring a picnic and, and set it out. It looks like we're expecting 900 people for our food. But, at the end of the evening, it's all gone.
Yeah. Well, it sounds fun. And thank you very much for all the information. It was nice to see you both.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. See you next time.
Okay.
And don't forget that they will be dark this month in August and regroup again in September. And then don't forget about their Shakespeare thing. We'll be right back after this.
Well, welcome back. Our movie today is called Last Flag Flying, and it stars Bryan Cranston, Lawrence Fishburne, as well as Steve Carell. And this movie is about a group of friends who were together at one time in Vietnam. A former Navy corpsman reunites with his old buddies, and the reason for that is to bury his son, a young Marine that was killed in the Iraq War. Now, this movie has a little bit of comedy to it. Believe it or not, it's kind of billed as that, a comedy and war drama, but the overall tone of this movie is very somber. Good cast, excellent cast, as you can see there. And this movie came out in 2017. It's rated R primarily for language and adult situations. And we bring that to you today at 2 o'clock and at 6 o'clock, The Last Flag Flying. Now, our movie coming up is a classic coming up on Friday, and it goes back to 1957, Jailhouse Rock. And Jailhouse Rock was, of course, Elvis Presley's very first movie, believe it or not. That's how far back this goes. And of course, it has a lot of songs in it, the famous Jailhouse Rock. What's interesting about this movie is really, in a sense, this sort of put him in the forefront. Prior to this, yes, a lot of young folks knew who he was, but this really gave him kind of a national presence, and people got to know him not only for his music, but as an actor. And of course, he went on to do several movies, all pretty darn successful and fun. This movie has a little bit darker tone to it. His movies later on, of course, were just a lot more fun, you know, Blue Hawaii and things like that. But this is a classic, and it shows him very young Elvis Presley back in 1957. And for the first time, a lot of folks got to see his gyrations there and his dancing. So we bring that to you on Friday, and Judy Taylor is in this as well, and Mickey Shaughnessy, who you just saw in that other scene. That will be Friday, August 24th, Jailhouse Rock. So that's a good one. Hey, I want to tell you folks about a couple upcoming events that we have for you. And one of them is the PC Club is having a picnic. It's kind of an indoor picnic, if you will, tomorrow, Tuesday, 5:30 at the PC Club. And you can go to their website, the PC Club, for details, pcclub.org, and find out more about that. But it's at 5:30 tomorrow. And it's going to be up in their workshop, as I said. And just a whole old-fashioned summer picnic. They didn't give much details in the press release that I got, but that's what it's going to be. Now, also want to tell you about the casino night coming up for the Senior Center. This is a big fundraiser for them, and really what this does, a lot of the money goes to primarily their Meals on Wheels program, and it's a fun benefit that for the entire Florence Sylvester. This will be happening on September 29th, Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Florence Sylvester. So if you'd like to see more or find out more about that, the tickets are, I believe they're $25, and that includes raffle tickets. It's basically play money. You get $100 in play money. If you want more, you can go ahead and put more money towards that. And with your play money at the end, see how well you do with all the casino stuff they're doing. You then go ahead and use that for raffle prizes. They're going to have additional raffles that you can get on if you don't want to do the gambling, the mock gambling, I should say, part of it, and snacks and refreshments. So you can find out more about that by calling them at 949-380-0155, and you can buy your ticket for that now, which will get you in. It'll get you the food and the fun, and it'll get you $100 in play money. Beyond that, you can purchase more if you'd like. And good fun coming up here on the patio. Coming up on September 16th and 17th will be the Old Pros that present Shakespeare on the patio. They usually do this just about every year at Clubhouse 1 on the patio over there. The doors open at 6 o'clock, and the performance starts at 7. For both those dates, it is $10 per person. And what they do here is scenes from several of Shakespeare's most popular plays. They have little sets up there, and of course they're in costume. Now, it's up to you to bring your own stuff to eat, your own picnic. Food's not going to be provided, but they welcome you to bring your own food and refreshments for that. Coming up at, about a month from today, a little less than a month, Sunday, September 16th, and Monday, September 17th. So there you go. That should be a lot of fun. And Old Pros put on some really good things, and this one, like I said, I think they do just about every year. They've done it for quite some time in the past, so that should be fun. And storytelling in September, the Publishing Club is doing this Thursday, September 20th, and this one's going to include food. Tickets are $20 for that. So we'll tell you more about that as we get closer. We had the Publishing Club on last week, but they'll be on probably another time right before that event to tell you a little bit more of the details on that. But just to give you a heads up. And the weather, well, if you're watching us in the morning, again, that June gloom, which I call it, August, I don't know what I would rhyme with August, but the August marine layer is with us here, and we're going to stay in the mid-80s. As I said earlier, I look at usually 3 different sources. One source has it Wednesday and Thursday hitting closer to 88, where the other one has us staying about 83. So I kind of half it in the middle. Either way, it's going to be a fairly pleasant week. Things will warm up just a little bit. And there's a high pressure system that is over the Arizona area. That's why this is swooping in all this humidity that we've been getting. If that high pressure system goes a little northward, northwest, we'll see more clearing of this, less humidity, and the temperatures will bump up. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm giving you kind of the average. Here we are around Orange County and beyond. Just beautiful beaches, averaging about 77, so not real warm down there. And they're going to have a lot of overcast in the morning. But the rest of Orange County, mid to upper 80s. Palm Springs, about 109 today. So there you have it. All right, you take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.